My brother,
PhD.
the king. How are you?
Hey. Obana ke apere yellow because of when?
No, you are very yellow because of South Africa, and that's a very good thing. Yellow representing South Africa and Mamelodi Sundowns. As a South African,
Once a South African, always a South African.
always a South African. And even for those that do not support Mamelodi Sundowns or did not support Mamelodi Sundowns, I do not blame anyone. You know why?
Fist in my head.
The leading goal scorer of the CAF Champions League 2024-2025 season. What a great player he is. I mean,
Fist in my head.
yes, it's a renowned name. I told people that Fiston Maela is more famous in South Africa than in Egypt.
Now I can give you a chance to say what you wanted to say. I just had to echo those names, PhD and Fist in my head,
Yes.
because I did say after the match,
Yeah.
I'm going to remind you about
Yeah.
this name.
Yeah.
That man broke my heart a few weeks ago. Today, he broke our hearts again.
Maybe Kaizer Chiefs should sign him.
They tried, I think.
Yeah.
I think they tried.
That would be a very good signing. We must not lie. We are in the business of excellency. We only want the best, and this Fiston Maela can really bring a lot of change in terms of South African football, our defenders and stuff. So if Kaizer Chiefs were to buy him, I think that would be a very good signing. But just to get into the game, Mamelodi Sundowns and Pyramid FC, they really played quite a similarly football. They striked with two strikers. They were playing, your 4-4-2. I mean, both of them. But when you look at from Sundowns, they were striking with their two. They started with Reynas, and also they started with Matthews. If you can check last, I said the coach should start with Shalulile and Reynas. I mean, Shalulile, I think he scored 3 goals. He's the leading goal scorer in terms of the CAF Champions League, in terms of Mamelodi Sundowns. But I do not understand why the coach of Mamelodi Sundowns decided not to put him. But just to talk about that, you see that goal that was scored by Mamelodi Sundowns, that was the creation of Shalulile's goal. Because Shalulile, I mean, I said that they should play with Sales. They did not start with Sales. And then Sales is the one who passed that ball to Shalulile with a cross, I think. And then because the defender thought Shalulile, since he's here, remember whether it's offside or not, I know the laws of football are yet to change. They said he did not interfere with play. He interfered with play because if he was not there, the defender was not going to clear it inside. Remember, the laws of football changes. Even if now the law would say he did not interfere with play, but between me and you, because we speak progressive sense, that's why the laws and the rules of the game changes. It changes precisely because there are laws that really are not really made right. That ball was an assist from an offside position, which was played by Shalulile. But fortunately for us, because the goalkeeper gave an assist, the very same assist that was gave by Grand Kekan. Remember, I said, according to me, Grand Gagana, I wouldn't have put him. And I said, I know that Cardoso won't put him. Remember, I know that I made a mistake with the naming where I was supposed to say Kekan in the middle of the park, because obviously Kekan has never played a midfielder. I meant Emukwen. But my point is here. Grand Kekan gave an assist today. He made a mistake even the previous match when they were playing in Polokwane, I mean in Pretoria. Instead of clearing the ball, he did not clear the ball, and it resulted into the ball getting a goal score. But Cardoso kept in believing in him, and today, I mean, look at how casual he was. And that ball again, I did also say that I would start with Divine Lunga, because I know the ability of Divine Lunga in terms of defending. And when you're playing in the CAF Champions League, you need defenders that are not half defenders. Remember, we are in Africa here. There are different patterns and of playing the ball and stuff. You need the physique. You need someone who will fight. I'm not saying our left back Modiba is not good, but I'm saying Modiba is good when you don't need much of defending, or when you don't play against teams of your pyramids character. I mean, caliber rather, or your teams in the CAF Champions League, When you play in the CAF Champions League, you need hard people. Hence, you heard me talking about Obas in the middle of the park, because Obas is that hard defender, and you can tell Mokoena was his game today. A very good player. He's got strength, he's got physique, he's got the skill also.
But tell me,
Mm,
if you were to put Obas
mm,
looking into this squad,
mm.
who would you have taken out? And I asked you a question before this match. I said, are you sure about Jaden Adams?
No, Jaden Adams, no regret, quality. He made Sundowns to play. One thing I like about Jaden Adams, he also plays even off the ball. What he gives you, he's not giving you when you're attacking, but again, he's very sharp in terms of defending. And that's very rare, even in this very same country, that you find a player that is very good, who can read space, but can play, and it's very skillful, but yet to mark. A lot of people or a lot of players that we have in the country, when they are good on the foot or playing, they're not good defensively. But Jaden Adams give you a bit of both. But I know anyway, you talk about Kulisa Mudau. For me, I think.
But I asked a question
Mm,
about Obas.
yes.
If you put Obas and you still had Jaden, who would you have benched?
Remember, I corrected myself. I said,
No. I'm talking about looking
yes,
at today's squad,
yes.
because you keep on saying you would have had Obas. Who would you have benched?
In fact, let me correct myself. My point is the reason why I emphasized him, but I said since we can only put 11 players, but if you could just make sure that the middle of the pack is stronger, I would opt for him, because now Emukwena wanted to push further, but he cannot push further because the players that are he's playing with are not good defensively as he is. So being a central defensive midfielder himself, he cannot, because he's got a shot, and sometimes he wants to get in and hit a shot from afar. But I was talking about Kulisa Mudau, class of his own. I think, honestly speaking, he has proven to be a top player. That I think, again, we somehow delaying him. Maybe if he had won the CAF Champions League, it would have at least boosted his profile. For me, the player has overstayed in the country. He's on another level. Musalibusa was not so good defensively today in terms of aerial balls, because these guys have proven that they are very deadly in terms of aerial balls, corners and headers and set pieces. The very same divine.
Remember what I said about their heads?
Yes.
You remember I kept on pointing at their head.
Yes.
And when they took that free kick, I said, yo.
It was very much unfortunate for Divine Lunga. But to tell you something, a player like Divine Lunga is not a player that you put in second half. He's a player that you start the match with, because he's your typical left back. He's not a player that would be more impactful in terms of improving the game in that way, maybe attacking or defensive. They were just supposed to start with him. As he was trying to find himself into the game, he considered a set piece, and the very same set piece led to what? To that goal that they scored with a header, by the way. And I think the positioning of Musalibusa was wrong. Musalibusa was supposed to be just in front of the of the striker, rather than to rely on an offside. Because now, when you are behind,
But was it not offside, that one?
no, it was not an offside. The offside was cut by the shoulder. But when you look at it from the head,
Yes, because I had
yes,
checked the head.
yes, you checked the head and the player next to him. If you check the player next to him, he was offside. But if you check the player far away from him, the
Yeah.
player that was ahead, not this one that was
Yes.
close to him. But unfortunately, we are robbed. I think we're giving top analysis to a point whereby even the officiating is beyond class. And I think the amount of data should now increase from lifestyle standard. I don't think we qualify to charge the same. I don't think data should do the. I think it's injustice to data, because the analysis are even beyond VAR, because even VAR, it took them I mean a very long time to analyze such as a simple thing. And even if resources are there, if they are not used to the best of their ability, look at how long we waited for 5 minutes. The game, I mean, resources are there to make our life easy. You cannot take resources I mean, VAR was used in vain. How can we wait 5 minutes? How can
But don't you think also the referee was too lenient? I feel like there was supposed to be too many cuts and at least one red card.
I think the referee wanted to manage the game. He did not. He avoided. Yes, you are right. He avoided a lot of things in trying not to kill the game or to demoralize teams, as because that the level of this game is on another level. Sometimes you let things go not because you want to let them go, but no, because it's a Champions League game. You'd find that fouls that you could tell that these are fouls. You just let go to say man up, and a very as you were saying about that you are making, or you are bringing me into the remembrance of a supposed goal that was supposed to be Reyners. Yes, he was pushed, he was shoved from the bench. But remember, now you are playing in the CAF Champions League. You do not need to rely on the officiating.
But a foul is a foul.
Yes, a foul is a foul. But I'm saying, like you're saying about fouls, they are on another level when we are talking about the CAF Champions League. Remember, every family has their own rules and laws. Here in Africa, when you become soft, or when you maybe when you're fouled and you act like you're fouled, they don't consider you, especially in the CAF Champions League, because they believe in strength. Reyners was supposed to force himself so that even if he falls, then the referee does not have any option.
Trust me, this referee was not going to do anything. There's just too many things that
Mm.
happened there. People got away with murder in most cases,
Yeah.
including the coach, the Pyramids coach.
No,
I mean, he was just jumping up and down. I thought he also deserved a red.
no, this.
I like the coach, by the way. He's a
Yeah.
good coach. He's a good tactician, but I felt like he was over elaborating in his complaining.
If I were to compare the coach of Pyramid to anything, I would compare him to a very disturbing mosquito. The guy is very disturbing. Even watching from TV screens, I think even cameras must avoid showing him. He jumps. He's like a tennis ball. He's always jumping up and down for no reason. He's like we know coaches. We know the pressures of coaches and stuff. But the guy, I don't know. It's like o ka re ba mo hlabile ka nalete ya mosquito. But anyway, it's fine.
But is it not because of the pain he caused us a few weeks ago as well? And today again?
No, I thought of him. He was very dramatic in many elements.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he was very dramatic. And if he had found a coach, a referee that we had here, Momo PSL, who would even give the ball boy a yellow card, he was definitely getting a red card. He was too vocal for things that he was not supposed to be. Sometimes the referee, the captains needs to be the one talking to the referee and stuff. But they had a very pretty game. But now the side of Mamelodi Sundowns, I still insist and I emphasize Cardoso. To be honest, with all due respect, I think Cardoso robbed himself of the CAF Champions League.
But do you remember when I warned you about Cardoso? I asked you a question. Are you sure he's the right man to take Sundowns to the final? And you said 100% sure. Now today, let me hear your views. You were about to talk. I asked you about Cardoso, if you remember.
Yes.
I said, are you sure he's the right man for this job, more especially this CAF Champions League?
I don't remember saying I'm sure. I said,
What did you say?
Yes, I said no, Cardoso. They need to play the Cardoso's way, since he's the coach now.
Yes.
And remember, we've got no other option. He is here. He's in the final. Because if I can tell you something about football, when someone is in the final and you are not in the final, and you try to explain to say yes, he's in the final, but something is not right. Even how they reached the finals, they scored with an own goal. You can tell that Sundowns was not playing as they should be playing with the quality. Take nothing away. Mamelodi Sundowns has got quality from the bench everywhere else, but I don't think it was used according to the best of its ability. If you check Sundowns,
What happened to the carpet football, the Shushan and Pian? What happened to that? What happened to Zwani? Was Allende supposed to last that long when Zwani is on the bench? Is Zwani fully fit? I asked you so many questions. I don't know which one you're going to pick up, but I've got too many things running in my mind. And in the last 3 years, Pirates has won more trophies than Sundowns. I'm not too sure if you are aware of that. So I'm asking myself too many questions.
Yes, no, you're quite right. But let me go to the issue of Tembazwani. Tembazwani is fully fit. His quality, his proven quality, but unfortunately, age is not with him. But He
Baba,
can,
that last 20 minutes, if Zwane was there, what
yes,
has age got to do with 20 minutes? Ronaldo is 40.
yes.
You know Zwane, Mara.
No,
Maybe you forgot Zwane.
that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. My point is, Zwani, he can give you 30 minutes. He can give you that 40 minutes. I agree with you. My point is, yes, he cannot give you the fully 90 minutes, but play him. I mean, we are talking about a player who played a crucial role in what? In making sure that Mamelodi Sundowns, the very same Mamelodi Sundowns, gets a star. And then when you are told, because sometimes coaches are very stubborn. He was advised even by football delinquents or people that don't even understand football. He was advised even by small boys to say play Tembam Mshishizwan. I mean, we're talking about jersey number 18. It's proven. Even Hugo Bruce denied him, but he corrected himself. Now you are told and you understand. Remember, even Sundowns fans, I mean, players are fans to Tembazwani. So they even sing his song in
Yes,
the dressing
yes,
room.
yes.
So if you are a coach and you are you understand? I mean, even if you are just blind or you don't understand this, I mean, if you arrive in a team and then you find uh, players that sees their player as their idol,
Yeah.
and you don't realize that, you know what was his response during the week, Coach Cardoso? He was very stubborn. He said he will not listen to us. He doesn't need Zwan. So, but to be honest, you need experience. You need not only experience. Zwan is quality. You can tell that one thing that sets him apart is the hard-working part. Beside the talent, the discipline, he can make the whole of Sundowns tick in a blink of an eye. We have proven that. I'm not saying the quality there was not enough at Sundowns, but give him 30 minutes, give him 40 minutes, especially when you're losing. But now they put in whom, as a player that I also said in my first 11, that is going to be very crucial in sales. Sales has proven when he arrived here, he didn't start so well. But now sales is on another level. You were supposed to start with sales. Did you realize when they put on Mutiba, they put on sales and they put on Morena? Sundowns changed. Like it was like we were sitting at the edge of our seat. And
We are at that
yes,
time, ne?
yes.
That's where I felt they should also just pull Allende and put Zwane.
It's like you were thinking the same thing as I was saying, because now we are going through towards the end. Play them, yes, a very good idea to put in Emutiba because he was winning a lot of aerial balls. I mean, for a player that has not
I
been
thought he
playing,
was going to score as well.
yes, he's very deadly. But for me, like I'm saying to you, if why football sometimes, why can't we check football like CVs? I mean, when you've got a player, when like I think we need to bring some education into football. When you are a coach and you look at the profile of a Mutiba, CAF Champions League player, a European player, you look at the profile, you look
AFCON player.
African player. He's on an international standard. And then what do? You deny him all this time. And you know what you do when you know that now you need quality. You expose yourself and bring him in. Why not? Why didn't he play him prior or the game and give him 30 minutes, 2 minutes? Those kind of minimum time. Again, like I'm saying, look at the profile. A Grant Kekane he made a mistake, Grant Kekane, to be honest. Not to say he's not a good player. He made a
I
mistake.
think he played well, though. I know it might have just been that era, but I think he managed to contain Mael. You know, I'm scared of Mael. I'm scared of Mael. And, I tried to make you compare Maele and other sales, and I feel like I won the battle. But Grant made it difficult for him. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you are quite right, but not completely right. Because again, he's got his co-worker or his co-partner in Musa Libusa. When Grant Kekana is with Toby Mvala, you can go and do the profile in the CAF Champions League. I mean, in Afcon, when we play Afcon in
But
Bafana
is
Bafana.
is 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 this guy's crime not that own goal that he committed? That's why maybe they're no more giving him a chance.
Who
Mvala. Remember you remember that.
yes. They now held on a single mistake that he made in costing Sundowns an invincible last game of the season, and they never forgave him. And if you were to go back to that goal that It was not Ntobin Vala's goal. He was pressed and he was the last man of defense. And when you're pressed, what do you do? Because now you don't have option to the people that you must pass. And that's how Ntobin Vala, get into these things. But they never forgave him. It reminds me of the issue of Olisanda. Olisanda made a mistake. Quality player, class of his own. He made a mistake. It's like they are writing a football Bible to say you made a mistake in a derby, therefore you cannot play again. That's unfair to players. Players do make mistakes. Even the very same Grant Kegan, he must forgive himself and understand that I made mistakes, but he played very well also, because it cannot solely rely on him defending Emaele or all the strikers. There was a time where he was very aggressive and he won the ball inside the box against Maela. But you talk about Khuliso Mudau, he won $1 million. I don't know if we call it an African tackle or what, without even tackling. But he just pushed the Mayela and grabbed the ball. And the very same, one thing I like about Khuliso Mudau, even when after winning the ball, he does not play like a defender. Like he plays like a defender when he defends. When we win the ball, he's now an attacker. He's very creative. He don't just lose balls like our typical defenders that we get. Defenders we know that their basic job is to defend. But even when you are in attack, show us that you can. If you don't want to run with the ball, it's fine. Give it safely, not to lose it after winning it so expensively, if I may say. But Sundowns, for me, they had everything, all the quality they showed us towards the. I mean, Sundowns could have scored even towards in 10 minutes. They could have scored 2 or 3 goals. But you can say
I saw 3-2. Yeah? I was sensing 3-2. I don't know why, but Sundowns was just like pyramids were. That game reminded me of the last game of Pirates and Sundowns. 2 quick goals, and then the last 20 minutes, Sundowns was just all over Pirates.
Sundowns was very. It reminds me of, because I was sitting like this. When other sales got in, I was sitting like this, like this. That game of 2-1, Sundowns was. Oh, that's what I'm saying. To be honest, Coach Cardoso, he showed towards the end. But why not? Why didn't you start the very same way? Because you are very deadly when you've got sales. When you've got that guy, you know what he did. But look at Chalulile. I think the coach robbed himself.
If we were to blame somebody here, who are we gonna blame here?
No, I'm going to put it straight, sober as it may be. Ebile nka se kenyele di-ice. Ke tla ikisa e le jwalo whiskey. No, the coach. The coach of Mamelodi Sundowns, he has himself to blame. People can call me what they call me, but I can tell you, look at. He is capable of doing that. He showed towards the end when you've got sales, because the main aim of Sundowns, remember,
Was Ribeiro in the game?
Ribeiro was in the game, but he was not as effective as the normal. Oh, not Ribeiro. Let me tell you again, it's a technical approach, wrong approach from the coach. You know what the coach did? He played Ribeiro inside or in the middle of the park instead of playing him wide. Because Ribeiro, if you can check towards the end, Ribeiro was deadly. Because what was he doing? He was going to the right. He was playing as a right flank, but cutting in with his left. Ribeiro has done magical, especially when he come. Remember, his strong foot is left, it's right. We know that when he cuts with the left, he can take 2 or 3 players. He can also score. He can deliver. But it's very deadly when he goes to his right, which is weaker foot. Because if he goes with his right, he delivers a cross for whoever that is inside the box. If you check first half, Sundowns hardly had chances. Because of what? They were, how can I say? They were putting Reynas alone. They were put because Matthews.
But that Matthews thing, I thought it was a goal, yeah?
Yes, I thought it was a goal. What he should have done there, Matthews, he was supposed to delay the shot. Delaying the shot and moving. You see the goalpost when it's like this. You move away from the goalpost so that you open your body and take it. He was right to take it there where it comes from, but he took it quicker. He was supposed to move a bit further, because the moment he moves, the goalkeeper also will shift. And by so shifting, you take it where it was. But everything was almost good. Yes, you can blame him for many things, but he did everything right for him to find that space. And what $1 million pass from a Ribeiro. I mean, that was very class. And Ribeiro, I mean, that was very magical. He was supposed to just put it away like that and put it. There was no way. If he moved and drifted. There's no way the goalkeeper would have stood in one place. But when you go straight, you're making the angle to be very tight for the goalkeeper. So it becomes so easy. But anyway, I think Pyramids also they won the game through their goalkeeper. He was very
El
quick.
Shinawi.
El Shinawi, class of his own. He's the kind of goalkeeper that you can say this European, UEFA Champions League kind of standard. I mean, he hardly makes a mistake, and he knows when to release the ball. He knows again, when to play. Because a lot of defenders, I mean, a lot of goalkeepers, they're not good on the feet. He is good on the feet. He can play like a goalkeeper, and he can play like a sweeper, like a defender. But again, an element of concern. Again, as we're talking about goalkeepers, Ronald Williams, he must understand his basic job is to be a goalkeeper. He's very good on the feet, and he showed today class. But I'm concerned. I know that that goal, the header goal, that the one that we're arguing about now, that he was let down by his defense. But again, he should have at least went out because it was within his reach. It was within his range. It was too close to the goalpost. At least, even if you are scored, at least involve yourself. But you wouldn't really blame it on him because the defenders were marking. But these guys are very deadly. If you look at them, they've got about 5 or 3 players who scored 5 goals. 5 goals. Mayele scored 6 goals. I mean, Mayele, again, there's a pass that he got inside where we thought it was offside and it was not. And he was quick to just clear that ball and score. But again, we can speak as much as we can be. But I think, again, this shows the level of South African football where we have reached. And now we can be level to understand that Pyramids are strong. Because when they play against Pirates, we're saying they are weak.
I warned you.
Forgetting that they are made to be weak.
I warned you. You know those guys, ne?
Mm.
Are not even scared to attack, whether away, home, what, leading. They're not scared. I mean, I was shocked. I thought they were supposed to go on defense when Sundowns was attacking. They were still attacking as well. Me, I don't understand that coach strategy. You know they were still attacking.
I know. I saw that. And I said, these guys, I remember saying, I said, Sundowns can win there.
Yeah.
The problem is to have a strategy that will always only defend. Because Sundowns, there was a point, especially at the beginning of the match, where they were not attacking. Sundowns has got the quality. We saw second half. But Pyramid is a team that scores you, you score them. Score you, you score them. So why defend? Because now you must score them. So this was supposed to be a game of your 3-2, I mean your 3-3. For me, my prediction
This game is painful,
3-1.
man. Yeah, I remember. This game is just painful. You know, we can talk about it for the whole night, but it's just painful.
Yes, it's very painful knowing what Orlando Pirates, from an Orlando Pirates point of view, know. There was a time I woke up around 3 a.m. in the morning and thinking, hoping to be dreaming about the results.
Ask me, Baba. You know why I said, you know why I said I don't see Sundowns beating Pyramids? It's because of the nightmares Pyramids gave me. You know, ne? I never healed. I'm still not healed. I thought Sundowns would make us heal. I'm still not healed. I'm not healed. Like, hey, you don't understand.
Hey, I don't want to tell you a lie. I know myself to be very emotionally intelligent, but that one, it's a pain that I will take to my grave. I don't want to tell you a lie. Pirates did everything right. I even celebrated. I went on Facebook. People got screaming. I said, "Yeah, we are going to the final." You know me, I'm most hated in my own way. People, took my videos. They made fun of me. We don't lose. But all in all, Mamelodi Sundowns should be very proud of themselves. They took the team to its third CAF Champions League final. Something that is very profound. It's very painful to digest, but honestly speaking, it is what it is. I mean, for me, they lost even here at home. They did not play according to the way I wanted. I thought this time they were going to redeem themselves, but unfortunately, I don't know. Sundowns technical team shouldn't decide on emotions. They must let this thing slide. Think through it. if they still want Coach Cardoso or not. Because now, if they can think through emotions, Coach Cardoso might not even come to South Africa.
I was going to ask you a question. Uh, if they don't make it to the group stages, Club World Cup, do you retain Cardoso? Because I think he was hired to win CAF Champions League.
Yeah, I think we all agree to that. I just don't know for how long were they willing to give him chance for that. Yes, something positive that he has done is to make them reach the finals. Much as we can say it's luck, but they created their own luck into reaching the CAF Champions League final. But for me, eight times South African champions, losing to a
Team 5 years old.
5 years old at this level, at this sport, at the CAF Champions League final. I think that they had, I was disappointed. I think Sundowns had everything right
With
to
a
win.
very expensive squad.
And we must say, quality, international players, uh, you know, showing, man. Did you see Sundowns towards the end?
You know what's my worry? Ne?
Mm.
Why am I asking you this question?
Mm.
I feel like the Sundowns game is also disappearing. I don't know this new tactics. Khurli bita ing. That style works. I know Pirates does at times play like that, but I feel like the Sundowns play is disappearing as well. So do you keep him for too long and change the whole structure of Sundowns, or what do you do?
You know, principles are changed when you are desperate for success. You leave your passion, you leave your kind of style. What you're saying is not a feeling, is the reality, is true. They are not playing your Sundowns way. The idea here is to rush success. Let's rush the ball. Let's do what we can do. We just want to win the CAF Champions League. And to think about this, I think Son of the Soil, Rulani Mukwena, wherever he is saying Ziakala manje. He's saying, I said,
Zego loudspeak.
Zego loudspeak. I can tell you that without any shadow of a doubt. Wherever he is, he's opening a bottle of something. The boy is really excited. He must never come and lie to you. I'm the only person who knows when people are lying. Rulani Mukwena he's happy where he is. No. He's very happy. He's very happy, and he must never be modest with us and say, Rulani Mukwena, wherever he is, I know that sometimes he gets tempted when he sees the phone. He can go to Instagram and say, Zigu loudspeak. I think Rulan he's very happy. He
Marosogelo Rulani,
no,
I swear.
Angumsugeli, he knows. Even when he was watching this the very same clip, he will be laughing and said yes, because he was so good in making sure that. Remember, Rolani, I was not advocating for him, his personality. I'm not a fan of his personality, but I'm a fan of his football. How he play. I never criticized how he plays. I always criticized his personality. I was hoping that they would at least demote him, or with Mangoba, and play the very same thing that they were doing, reshuffling. I agree they specialize in reshuffling, but he was important and very crucial for Sundowns. But a decision that I understand. But what I'm trying to say is, even if they were to win the CAF Champions League, they would have lost their system. Let me tell you a team that once lost its system through wanting to succeed very quickly. Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs won the league with another system that Kaizer Chiefs don't even understand, with helicopter football. They introduced, because when people lie to you using English, it's very soft, because they had a coach, was to a Boston, we play very, very well, we work on our transition, and when you hear that, your London English, you feel it's making sense, while the very same sense can be spoken in Venda. But that's why that's why Coach Steve Compella. That's why, no, I'm telling you the realities of football. This is what he'd say. You remember he used to wear those suits, and Kaizer Chiefs was winning. But Kaizer Chiefs fans who understand the culture and the system and the philosophy of the team, they would tell you this is not our football. Yes, we are winning, but this is not our. This system is like a system of what? It's like the system of money. Okenya tjhelete ko mosadi. Wa mmona hore mosadi wa hao batle, mara ka re, we're just using money. So the day you don't have money, you now realize, man, the Lusita system. This was not authentic. This was not me. I just bought this thing. So the Kaiser Chiefs, they won, but they lost to the Kaiser Chiefs philosophy. And now, not only after losing, remember they won, but they lost their system. And then they had to
But
take
why, when I'm worried about Sundowns losing its system, you are defending it? Wena karu enemy
No,
nyana
I'm not
wena.
different. I'm not. Hear my
Ukari
point.
ya uchaza this in your style sa Sundowns ya
No,
disappear.
and Style Sundowns is our shoe shining piano. It's our football. We love that football beyond winning.
But you are watching it disappear and you are keeping quiet. I keep reminding you, week in, week out, I ask this question.
Remember, I'm defined as someone who is jealous. By the way,
Oh, so now you're buying face by not speaking the truth.
I'm not buying. I'm saying when it is difficult to speak to someone who is in success. Remember, even if you were to watch that show by Visa, I blew it. Let me tell you, all of those people, when they were busy, when life was nice, they never took advices. But when they've hit hard, they now listen. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So if I come and say Sundowns is not playing the Sundowns, I did allude to many people, even off the camera, and say, yes, Sundowns are playing like this. They are successful. They are what. They told me Rulani was not penetrating well. He was not creating chances. We've got many. They're educated Sundowns.
Baba, you remember the Rulani football, man? They were calling it the Rulani ball.
He was on another level, that guy.
I feel like when Rulani left, ne, Pirates, Chiefs supporters celebrated more than any other people in this world because they knew Sundowns was going to somehow no more be as deadly as they were.
Yes, me to be honest, myself, I thought he would be demoted from being the head coach. I never, when I heard the news, I said, yeah. This,
That's why you thought Pirates was going to win the league.
Yes. Remember, I said to Sundowns to do me a favor. I said, Mamelodi Sundowns, please keep my favorite coach, Mangoba Mneti, because we're going to win the league. And now people are not quoting what I said. You know what they're saying? They only quote the part where I said Pirates will win, but which conditions? I said they must keep Mangoba for me to win the league. And then they brought this Cardoso. He did very well. Take nothing away. But Cardoso, I know that a lot of people might lie to you and tell you that yes, you did well to reach the finals, but you killed yourself in these two games because you've got the resources enough, everything right to win this match. But honestly, we know that teams lose.
Maybe we must give him a chance. Let's give him a chance. Maybe, he's coming to change our mentality in this country, the type of football that we're playing. Maybe he's introducing something that might be a lifetime legacy. The fact that he won the league, so meaning for the next 3 years he'll win the league, we don't know, but let's give him a chance. I mean, remember even when Bruce came, a lot of people were complaining, and Bruce is still here, and we are all proud of Bruce. So maybe Cardoso as well is just that misunderstood coach.
No, you take nothing away. That's why I'm saying you must not move away from the culture and the philosophy of the team. But let me tell you, there's another man there. He's doing well. He's doing well. The technical director at Sundowns. The technical director at Sundowns also plays that crucial role in terms of what Cardoso is doing, because Cardoso coaches within the context of how Mamelodi Sundowns wants to play. That's why they also hired him, because of also the kind of football that he plays. Let me tell you, when Cardoso came, what he did. Sundowns used to play the dumping crosses inside the balls. And the man behind those balls was Shalulile. If you were to check in the preliminary stage, they were saved by Shalulile to be in the group stages. But the same Shalulile, whom relied on where, when you put in Alende, he plays the dimming pulses that are looking for a header of Shalulile. Sales did the same. He looked for a header, played $1 million cross with his left foot. Unfortunately, it swept away because he used the left from Shalulile. So Shalulile is a crucial player for playing that particular game. But they don't put that player who's very deadly on the head, who can run in the box. Why not put that player? Because he complements Allende with the dimping balls. Sundowns, when they started with the coach Cardoso, that's what he brought. Playing, putting crosses inside. But now we are no longer seeing that. Even and beside, you cannot blame the players for not doing that. I'm talking about your midfielders and your wingers. Why? They don't have that player like Joshua Lilule, who has proven to do that. And you've got that luxury, you don't use him. Again, you show us that you've got. I almost forgot about Mutiba. I almost forgot that Mutiba is there. But did you see the impact that he brought? It means the coach knows his way.
Hence, I'm saying let's give him a chance.
No, he deserves a chance. He deserves a chance. But again, remember, the person who feels the pain more is the one that pops in money. When other people are trying to be delusional and say, we are making money, we are making money, the person who pays knows that they are not making money. And remember, some of us, because we stopped wanting to be loved from the age of 12, we are not scared to tell the truth, raw as it may be. And let me tell you about something that when you lie to, I mean, when you tell people that understand English the truth, what they say, they will answer you in English to sound smart. They will tell you, hey, you don't know FIFA financial fair play. I'm like looking at these people, I'm like, these ones. I am twice as clever when I'm asleep and drunk than when they are awake and sober. You cannot tell me about FIFA financial fair play. I'm not there. But what I'm trying to say is the person who decides on remember, you know, when you're making a party and people are busy celebrating, but you know that my money have I. And the very same people, when that money fed you blew it. They never advised you anything. This is what's happening with Sundowns. Sundowns is honestly speaking, give credit to Topi Mutsepe, give credit to Sundowns management for seeking for quality, but they also deserves support in terms of supporters. In terms, you cannot have. I still emphasize this.
But for the first time, everybody supported Sundowns on this mission. There was a lot of support out there
from outside teams.
Yeah, for this mission, yeah, the second star.
I don't know if you are talking about dignitaries, but if you are talking about general support from fans and everything, I even posted on my Facebook today. I said we are all supporting Mamelodi Sundowns. Yeah, 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 yeah. 99.9% said, yeah, when we vow no animal. You understand? Because, but I don't blame them. People are entitled to their own opinions. Sundowns was not supported. Maybe they were supported in public, but in secret they were not supported. I took an oath myself to say I'm going to support them, but obviously they will never get a first grade support like it's Pirates. Even today, I'm going to sleep like a baby. I'm not going to say Sundowns has lost, therefore can I let's start. No, but I was supporting them. But I will never lie to them and say, even when they scored, I clapped hands like a gentleman who's very rich. I did not jump like someone who does not know his name.
So no look presidential, you know, go presidential.
Yes, go presidential.
Before we go, because hey, you know, me and you can talk forever, but tomorrow we'll be having a daytime show again.
Yeah.
So Shalulile, I heard that he's leaving, and he was left with one goal to break the record.
It's very sad.
So meaning Sebonga Nomvete will still retain that record.
So he's leaving, well.
So I heard.
That would be very sad. I would have loved for Shalulile to get a goal.
I thought he was going to get it tonight.
He was going to get it. He was going. You know when you are going to get it and you are denied by your father. Cardoso denied Shalulile. He denied. And let me tell you, we can never shy away from speaking the truth just because it hurts people. No, the truth has to be said. Sundowns have had everything in their disposal. They might get angry and stuff, but Sundowns, no, Cardoso failed today. I don't want to lie. We know that you lose games, but lose like you are Sundowns. Lose like that last 10
Be
minutes.
comforted, my brother. Be comforted.
I wanted to beat a team with 2 stars. Do you understand? I wanted to trap a team with 2 stars. So, but unfortunately, very sad for South African football. Yes, we banter each other, we joke and stuff, but it's a very painful moment. I know the pain they're going through. But I'm glad now we know that pyramids are strong. Yeah. I've got a message also to my brother Marshall Kamalo. He's a Sundowns fan. I was supposed to be, to be in a good standing as far as my doctorate is concerned. I think my doctorate will be revoked because there's a lesson, there's a course there that is short. That course is uh, they said they want to teach me how to beat pyramid. So I'm still waiting for them to teach me how to beat pyramid. They are delaying me of my progress in terms of football understanding. Marshall Kumalo, wherever you are, my brother, I'm still waiting for you to teach me how to beat pyramid. By the way,
You can tell him. You can tell him
yes,
then to come.
Marshall Kumalo, I know that you are eating humble pies, my brother. Now we understand that you are not living in a double-story house. We are all in the same level. I'm not sorry that you lost. I was supporting you, but I'm not sorry that you lost. It's not my baby. I'm not going to feel pain for Pirates and feel pain for Sundowns. Your pain is your pain. But if you were going to celebrate, I was going to celebrate with you. But when you cry, it's not my issue to cry with you. You can cry alone. And I won't even lie to you and say I sympathize with you. I'm laughing at you.
Yo, I poor Marshall. Mina, I'm closing it there. Thank you. Danko.